Hello everybody, welcome to my Mighty Health family. I'm so glad you're here today. My name is Mary. Sometimes they call me Mighty Mary, and I am here in my kitchen to create a delicious meal that could be for lunch, could be for dinner, could be for a midnight snack. It's a chicken kale Waldorf salad, and it's gonna have avocado and goat cheese in it. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna have so many powerful flavors. When you think of a salad, you think, oh, salad, how sad. I'm gonna have to have a salad for lunch, but not this salad. You won't feel that way at all, trust me. I'm gonna show you all about it and tell you all about the healthy benefits of this salad because my sidekick Natalie is here. Welcome, Natalie.
Hi everyone, I'm so happy to be here.
Great. I'm so glad you're here to talk us through some of the nutritional benefits of this recipe. And we're going to get started by me showing you all the players in this wonderful salad. I have some great kale. It's going to be a baby kale salad and some other ingredients in my fridge. I'm going to grab those because I want to show you everything so you'll be ready. Oh, one tip. Go ahead and, if you're doing this recipe at home, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 because we're going to get our walnuts toasted pretty soon. All right. I'm going to grab some yummy things out of my fridge. Let's go with some baby kale, some goat cheese, oh, and my leftover chicken. And don't mind the messy fridge. Okay, so I have some great things here. It's gonna make a delicious salad. I have my oven preheating already. Hopefully you've done that too. And did you know Mr. and Mrs. Kale, they had a baby and it's called baby kale. So I didn't even know about this, but sometimes kale salads can be so firm and just hard to eat. But this little baby kale salad that we're gonna use is like almost like, it looked almost like baby spinach or something, a little more firmness than that, but a lot more tender. I think you'll like it. And we've got some dried cranberries that are gonna be going in. We're gonna use a 1/4 cup of these in a minute. We're gonna crumble some goat cheese. We're gonna use some great fruits and fruits, I guess. Here, avocado, right? It has a seed. And some Granny Smith apple. So we're gonna use just half of our avocado when we get to it. And then I also have some grapes. The recipe does call for red grapes. Don't have red grapes here in this area today, so we're going with green. There's one other thing that we're gonna do, which is toast the walnuts. I'll go ahead and do that in a moment, but I have a 1/4 cup of walnuts ready to go here. Our salad dressing is gonna have some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, some balsamic, a clove of garlic, and a little bit of Dijon, just about a teaspoon. And then I'm gonna add salt and pepper to my taste. So I have those players ready here. Okay, so let's get started by popping those walnuts in the oven.
I love that we're using walnuts. What a great nut to use. Did you know they're actually the highest antioxidant producing nut?
I did not know that.
They're very healthy for you. They have a lot of polyphenols in them, which are great for fighting inflammation and oxidative stress that you may have in your body. They're also really high in omega-3 fatty acids, which is something we normally only associate with, like fish or something like that. But yeah, this is a great plant source of omega-3 fatty acid. Great, nice and heart healthy.
Yeah, now those fabulous walnuts are toasting. They're gonna be in there for about 8 minutes. You can do those in a skillet on a cooktop. I'm always when I have other things going on, I find the oven to be a safer bet. But I'm gonna bring out the things for our salad dressing because we can whip that up while we're going. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add my ingredients for my salad dressing. Natalie, you could talk about store-bought dressing and why we're doing this as I go, right? While I start off with my
absolutely. I'd love to talk about that. So we think of salads as healthy, but a lot of times when you're buying a dressing from the store, there's a lot of weird additives in it, a lot of sugar, salt, all that kind of like nasty stuff. If you're having a salad, you want it to be healthy. But making a dressing really doesn't have to be intimidating. Really all you need is olive oil, some sort of vinegar, a squeeze of lemon is great. all you really need to do is throw it in a mason jar and just give it a shake, and you can keep it in the fridge for a couple days.
Perfect. Awesome. I have my mason jar ready. I just put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in, and I'm going to match that with my acid. Or it could be citrus. My acid's going to be balsamic vinegar, but you could use champagne vinegar, red wine vinegar. So this recipe is just an equal amount, and I think that's, oh, you know what? I said I was using balsamic, and I'm actually using a white balsamic. So I did 2 and 2. I sometimes double this, triple this, and make a big giant jar, and then just pop it in my fridge. And
that's a great idea.
Yeah,
it's great to have it on hand. You know, when you're hungry and you need something, if you just want to grab some greens and some vegetables you have on hand, you already have a dressing that's ready. So that's great to make a double, because this really goes with anything too. It doesn't have to be with just this salad.
Right, any salad you're gonna have, right? Or over some veggies that maybe you roasted, or something to add good flavor.
Of course, you know, you can even add it on top of a meat, use it as a marinade, something like that.
Okay, I'm just prepping my little piece of garlic here. I sometimes add a teeny pinch of agave to something like this.
Yeah, you could definitely do that, or a little maple syrup or something if you need just a touch of sweetness to it. Yep. And I love this dressing. It's so much lighter than a typical Waldorf salad dressing, which is kind of heavy in that mayo.
Oh my gosh, for fun, I was looking up the origination of the Waldorf salad, and it was in 1893, and there's a little salt and pepper here. And it was for a charity event that was in conjunction with the grand opening of the Waldorf Hotel. And it was 3 ingredients: walnuts, mayo, and apples. So the walnuts were the only healthy, that mayo in there. We're really lightening it up by making our own dressing, aren't we? Now, 2 options. You can just pour it into a bowl and whisk, or my preferred is putting it in a jar with a tight lid. So I'm just gonna put that lid on, and you could do the salad dressing dance. You got a little shake to the right, shake to the left.
An upper body workout.
Yeah, sometimes I do a handstand and shake this.
You need some fun music playing while you do that, Mary.
It really just shakes right up, emulsifies, and it's gonna be better than any dressing that you could buy in a store, that's for sure. We're gonna set that off to the side and get ready to put some of our other players into this recipe. The recipe calls for 8 ounces of the chicken, and I actually measured it. I took the tiniest 2 chicken breasts I had left over from previous, and it was about 9 ounces, and it calls for 8 ounces, so I'm a little heavy on the chicken. So I've got my 1/4 cup of the dried cranberries.
You know what I love so much about this recipe, Mary, is how much variety there is in the texture of the items that are going in. So you have a little crunch, you have some softness from the avocado and the cheese, and all these, and the crunchiness from, you know, the nuts, and that's what really makes you feel full and satiated, when you get a good variety of protein, carbs, fats. You want a little bit of crunchiness, a little hardiness to it. It's called crowding out. So you're really adding in so much of this good stuff, and you're going to feel full and not crave, you know, as much of the unhealthier foods. Because we often think of salads, you know, as being boring, but they don't have to be. Look at all this fun stuff that's going in.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you might hear my little chimer in the background. Our walnuts are all done. So I just chopped up my apple. I'm gonna go pull my walnuts out of the oven so that we can let those cool off. Here's my toasted walnuts, and they have such a great smell to them when they're toasted like that. They just set off a great aroma. I'm gonna set these on my cutting board over here to cool off and finish up the last of these ingredients. So we'll be ready to assemble this in just a little bit. Now I'm gonna use a 1/2 cup of grapes. I have part of them started. I've already washed and dried these. It's not that many grapes that it calls for, but I'm just gonna slice these little guys in half. Remove all the stems, of course.
Those look really good. And don't be afraid of using fruit in this salad. I know it's, you know, technically a sugar, but it's a good form of sugar and great source of nutrients, antioxidants, fiber, all those good things, especially when you keep the skin on. So don't be afraid of fruit. Don't be afraid of the fat. This is all good things that are going to work together in your body to make you feel full and nourish you and fuel your whole day.
And going seasonal with that fruit. I mean, grapes are good right now. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of goat cheese here. It's just about 1/4 of a cup crumbled. Crumbling's a little harder with this one. I usually will keep this in the fridge as long as possible. And then instead of crumbling, because I'm pretty soft on this, I'm going to do more slices of it. And even though this is a little bit of a pain to deal with, I can kind of turn it into little pieces, and it tastes so good, you know, as it melds with the chicken and the greens.
I love goats and sheep's milk too, because usually these animals are raised without antibiotics. So you're really getting kind of like a healthier cheese, a healthier dairy when you go for goats or sheep. And the lactose is usually a little bit lower.
Oh, that's awesome. So I'm going to push these fruits off to the side so I can do my final cutting, my final little player in this, which is my chicken. Okay, we've got all our players. I'm going to bring in a bowl so we could put this all together. I did notice there are some stems on the baby kale, and for me, I'm going to remove those. I also think doing a rough chop, or if you have regular kale, really chopping it up will be a great way to.
Yeah, I was going to say, chopping this up can be a little more of an easier way to eat this. Also, if you take a little bit of olive oil and for these tougher greens and you run it over, just a little bit of olive oil on top and you massage it in, that's a great way to make these tough leaves more tender.
Right. Yeah, this baby
chop.
kale definitely has a different texture to like a typical kale that you would find, but I'm going to tear up some of the bigger pieces too. This serves 2 to 4 people, and depending on how hard you need it. So you want to get your dressing in there, and all the lettuce, all the fruits are just going to get melded together.
Mary, sometimes sometimes I don't like a salad because it's cold, like sometimes you just want something warm. So, even to this, if you wanted to warm up a little bit of a grain and add it as a base, like a brown rice, a wild rice, a quinoa, something like that, just to warm it up a little bit, you can always do that as well.
At cooking school, I was told to toss 32 times, so I've lost count, but I should have had you all counting in the background for me. And then I'm going to add my goat cheese. I'd highly recommend buying the crumbled goat cheese at the store, but if you don't mind being a little patient, you can definitely get this separated up.
This salad is full of so many nutrients, so much fiber. It's got a little bit of sweetness, a little saltiness to it. It's really a good mix of everything, so it should leave you feeling really full.
Okay, that's pretty good. Let me just get some clean hands, and I have some bowls. Oh, and I'm gonna sprinkle my walnuts. Now that they're finally,
don't forget the omega-3.
I know. Well, they were cooling down, although that adds to the warmth of this salad. And I had already pre-measured my walnuts. You can get mine had a rough chop already, so I could just add them right in. One for me and one for you, everybody. I'm gonna grab a fork, and I think we're ready. Okay, this one is for you. Go ahead.
Drum roll.
And this one is for me. I've got some toasted nuts, some kale, the goat cheese. The biggest challenge is getting a little bit of everything in one bite. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow. So good. Really good salad. Love the cranberries in there. Love the dressing. It has so much flavor. And that crunch of the walnut that we toasted. It's so good. I hope you enjoy this delicious kale chicken Waldorf salad. Don't forget the avo, don't forget the goat cheese in it, because it really makes it a great treat. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Take care and have a great rest of the day, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, Natalie.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.